Well, do you see him, she asks.
Ser du? Ser du honom?
Jag ser en stel skräck i dina ögon. Ingenting annat.
Ingenting. Ingen.
Nej.
And he wheels
Står han inte
round.
heller bakom din rygg?
And in that moment, we too believe we're about to see something.
Nej.
That's Bergman's sorcery. He's able to manipulate us, the audience, into believing almost exactly what he wants us to believe.
När ni är med mig överallt.
And the witch, realizing that she's got a good audience, begins to elaborate.
Han är hos mig nu också.
In fact, as the squire will say in a few moments' time, she is really just an ignorant young girl, unable, alas, to answer those questions the knight will always want to ask.
Prästen hade ingen svårighet att se honom, och inte knäktarna heller. De är så rädda för honom.
Bergman, incidentally, is a stern taskmaster. You don't say no to Ingmar when he offers you a role, one of his actresses told me. Max von Sydow did just that in the early 70s, and he hasn't starred in a Bergman movie since.
Vad har du gjort med flickan?
And even when Death now makes his appearance again, the knight refuses to be cowed by his impatient adversary. He refuses to give up, and in that lies one of the great strands of meaning in the Seventh Seal, this refusal to countenance defeat. As they light the fire, I'm reminded of the fact that this went out of control at the time they were shooting the picture. The smoke billowed over everything, and Bergman, on top of a high crane for a shot a little while on, was screaming, "Max, where are you?" Couldn't find him, and for weeks afterwards the residents were wiping the grime from their windows. And the knight doesn't want to admit that he sees only terror now in those eyes of the doomed girl. And it will take the squire to give voice to those fears when she's raised above the flames. The knight tries to close those eyes, to shut out their fear and disillusionment. And he knows now that she must burn. And the girl, of whom we have not seen much, rushes forward appalled, and all of them stare. The squire utters words that most people would agree is the truth, but the knight refuses to acknowledge it. Notice how neither looks at the other. Both look beyond each other, at the witch, and still the knight stubbornly refuses to give up. Who would think that Max von Sydow was only 26 years old when acting this part? His wonderfully gnarled features convince us without effort that Antonius Bloch really is in his 50s or thereabouts. And all he can do now is to ride off confused and in despair. And Bergman cranes round, and we see Death kneeling in the background as the witch dies.